afternoon and welcome to another lesson. I think today's topic is going to be very, very exciting. It's going to cause a lot of you to think, and it might challenge a few of you, and it might cause a lot of you to do a lot more homework, and that's my objective here today. And like I like to start off all my messages, I like to start off with the audience repeating after me. I want everyone to put your hands together, make them into a little circle. Now, what this represents, the space inside this circle represents my realm of knowledge or your realm of knowledge. All that I think I know about whatever it is I think I know is depicted right here within this circle. I must keep in mind that there is more to know that is within the circumference of this circle. Basically, what that's saying is that there is more to learn. And as to keep with tradition, I want to let you know, I'm not here to indoctrinate you. I'm here to educate you. And the difference between indoctrination is telling you what to believe, whereas education is teaching you how to think and how to determine what it is you want to believe based upon the information that you've been presented with. I'm going to start up a quick PowerPoint presentation. I'm sure you're going to find it interesting. It's definitely going to be enlightening to you. It's going to open your mind. We're going to be talking about prophecies. Matthew gives us numerous prophecies about the Messiah. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little homework. What we're going to do is a little follow-up. We're going to do a little snooping, a little, just as they stated, they are letters, they weren't scripture. And Matthew, Mark, Luke, they were written after Paul's epistles. And actually, when we go to Luke, Luke tells you flat out, he said, hey, this ain't inspired. I just went around looking for eyewitnesses, and I got eyewitnesses' account of what happened. And there were other people prior to me, Matthew 2, verse 13 and 15. And while you're going flipping there, the title is, was this prophecy about Jesus or was it about Israel? And I like I say, all the letters are good. I mean, I like a lot of the stuff in the letters of Paul. It helps us with our daily lives. It gives us information. I remember one time I went to the movies and I saw The Matrix, and The Matrix was really profound. Even though it's fiction, it was still profound, and it made me think about life in a different way. Everything that's fake, just because something's fake doesn't mean it can't be useful in your life. Sometimes you might go to see a play, or you might see a movie, or you might listen to a song, or you might listen to a poem, or you might read a book, a fictional book, and after you finish that book, that poem, you walk away with something that was very enlightening. You say, wow, I really got some good thoughts out of that. So let's go to 2 Timothy 2:15. Before you go there, I'm just going to study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And like I said, I want this person here with the little bubble over his head. I want that to be you. I don't want you to be sheeple. I don't want you to be a bunch of sheep. I want you to stand out. I want you to go against the grain. Because just because everyone's going in one direction doesn't necessarily mean it's the right direction. So this is my quote. Once you start thinking, you won't be able to stop. These are some messianic prophecies in the book of Matthew. Isaiah 7:14, Hosea 11. I'm not actually going to read all these. You can screenshot this if you would like to. But today we're going to go over Hosea. Truth without facts are just ideas. These are some things you need to think about. Are you basing your whole life, your whole Christianity, your salvation on assumptions? And we all come to the table with presumptions, because we're human and we were raised a certain way and we were indoctrinated a certain way. If you were Buddhist, you were indoctrinated with the Buddhist philosophy. If you were Taoist, you were indoctrinated with Taoism. If you were Muslim, you were indoctrinated with the Muslim philosophy. Anything, no matter what it is, you come to the table with presumptions. But if you are a Christian, you want to know about your religion. It's your whole relationship with God based on assumptions. You know what they say about assumptions too, but that's for another day. Can you definitively and clearly show me the Trinity in the Old Testament? Can you show me that Jesus was the Messiah from the Old Testament? Can you show me that Jesus is God from the Old Testament? If my assumptions or your assumptions are wrong about this, then what? Are we putting systematic theology over what God said? Now, I'm not telling you anything about my beliefs. Whether I believe Jesus was the Messiah, whether I believe Jesus is God, that's irrelevant. It's what do you think? Like Paul said, you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So work it out for yourself. I'm just here to give you, people are to be a mouthpiece of God to the world. That's what the Bible says, because that's what the Old Testament says, and there was no New Testament without an Old Testament. The Jewish people are called the people of the book in the future, which has not happened yet. It says, in those days, 10 men from all the nations will grasp the garment of a Jew, saying, let us go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. So this is a future prophecy. And we know this has not been fulfilled as of yet, but we know this is the plan for the Jews. Just some quick fun, real quick. Was Moses part of the Trinity? Because we always as Christians go back and we say, well, oh, this is Jesus here. My Lord said to my Lord, or let us go down and let us make man in our image, or let us go down and see what they're doing down there, relating to the Tower of Babel, talking about the Elohim. But if that's true, let's go here. Exodus 7:1. God tells Moses that he will be God to Pharaoh. He said, behold, I have made you God to Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother shall be your prophet. So do we add Moses to the Godhead as well? You could. And you shall speak for you the people, and he shall be as your mouth, while you shall be to him as God, as Exodus 4:16. And there were others who were called God as well, but that's not germane to our message here today. We are going to Matthew 2, verse 13 through 15. We're going to talk about messianic prophecies, and we want to check and see if Matthew got it right. Did Matthew know what he was talking about? I know that sounds heretical, but let's see. Now, when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, this was to fulfill what the Lord has spoken by the prophet. Out of Egypt I called my son. Wow. So what this is saying here is that Jesus is this son that was called out of Egypt, because Jesus went to Egypt, and then Jesus is going to head up out of Egypt. He's going to call him out of Egypt. So Matthew is quoting Hosea 11:1. So let's flip over there real quick. Now this, you need to go. You need to see this with your own eyes. You need to understand this with your own mind. You need to think about this. Use your cognitive reasoning abilities right here. But actually, you don't really have to use it for this one, because this one is really black and white. Let's go to Hosea 11:1. And remember this, it's all about context, context, context. If this was real estate, it would be about location, location, location. A text taken out of context is just a pretext for whatever you want it to mean. And a lot of time, us as ministers and pastors, we are guilty of this. We will take a text and we will just turn it 20 ways to the north. We will just twist it all up and make it mean what we want it to say. A lot of times what we say is relevant, and I mean, it might not be accurate, but it's relevant. What I mean by relevant is that it actually helps our parishioners. It helps those people. We make a point to our parishioners, and our parishioners, they say, okay, I get the thought. Wow, you made me think, Pastor. So let's see what Hosea has to say. Hosea 11 says, when Israel, and this is actually that's Hosea 11:1, not Hosea 11:11. Hosea 11:1. When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's go back there. When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I call my son. So he's calling Israel my son. Okay, so that's the part that Matthew quotes. So if we're to believe that this is in reference to Jesus, let's go on to the second verse and see if the second verse refers to Jesus, because whoever this is talking about here, verse 1 and verse 2, is talking about that son. It said, the more they were called, the more they went away. They kept sacrificing to the Baals. And now that's why our ministry is called Common Sense Ministry, because let's use some common sense. Houston, we have a problem. Israel is called out of Egypt. Matthew only used part of the text. Did Jesus sacrifice to Baals or provide burnt offerings to the idols? I don't think so. So does this refer to Jesus or the Messiah? Conclusion. Told you this was going to be quick today. Conclusion. This does not apply to Jesus or the Messiah, but to Israel at that time. Side note. In the Old Testament, as far as Jewish literature, they don't have dual prophecies. So you can't say that this applied there and it also applies here. But you can see from this particular passage here that this would not apply in any shape, form, or other. So Matthew clearly got this one wrong. Now, some prophecies that we as Christians say are dual prophecies, say like Isaiah 7:14, talking about the virgin shall have a child, and they should call his name Emmanuel. We'll see later that was applicable then, and then 700 years later, if we're to believe in dual prophecies, believing that it was applied. 53 and Isaiah 7:14. After that, you can take it and run with it, and you can find the answer yourself very easily. It's like a math teacher putting an equation on the board. All they got to do is give you the formula. They don't have to give you every single question. All they do is give you the formula, and you go back and figure out the equations yourself. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what you can do. But I will be doing two more just to kind of give you the idea of the formula. Once one's mind. Okay. This is a quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. One's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. I like to say a mind once stretched can never go back to its original shape. Meaning that once you come away with this information, you're going to demand answers. You're going to go to your pastor, to your priest, to your minister, to your deacon. You're going to ask him for answers on this. And 9 times out of 10, they won't be able to give you answers. But here's something. Now think about this. You can go to Amazon.com and you can look up